Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd have a quick look at this. What we've got here is a Star Sound GB-15 little practice amplifier. Now, this goes back a few years with me. About 5 years or so ago, I bought a whole pallet of faulty amplifiers at an auction. I went to an auction with a mate because he was after some PA gear, and spotted that there was some PA gear for sale at this auction, so I went along with him. And I weren't intending on bidding on anything. And right at the end of the auction, they were selling off stuff that hadn't sold in other auctions, and they were just selling it off as lots. So there was a lot of 10 washing machines going as one, and they didn't care what it sold for, they just wanted it clearing. And one of the lots was a pallet full of, I think there was about 25 amplifiers, all different shapes and sizes of instrument amplifiers like this. And I don't know why, but I had a bid on it, and I won the pallet for, I think I paid like 38 quid or something, including everything, including purchase, whatever you do at, what's it called at an auction, you know, commission, that's the one, including commission and VAT and everything. I think it works out about 50 quid. So I paid £2 the amplifier for them, and it was a right old mix. Stuff like this, some better stuff, which I've sold all the better stuff on now. There was some Marshalls and some Fenders in there. And a lot of them seem to have come from places like cash generators and other second-hand type shops, and they were obviously whatever had failed, and they were just getting rid of them. And like I said, I bought the lot, and I've been slowly over the years fixing them up and selling them as and when I had some time. And I've got literally the last few, like the last 5 out of the lot at the moment, which I've just dug out of storage. And this is one of them. I've just actually done one almost identical to this, a GB-15. It's slightly different case, and it's branded a Groove, but it's identical chassis in it. And I've not filmed that one because all that was wrong with that one was a broken fuse holder on the back. So that one's ready to rock and roll and find a new owner. But I thought I'd do a little video on this one, because this one's perhaps got a little more of an interesting fault on it. I've got it plugged in at the moment. We'll switch it on, you know, it comes on. When we turn the volume control up, you can hear. But interestingly, it does seem to work if I plug a music source into it. I've just got my my little MP3 player down here connected up. Now I can only play literally a few seconds of this, because yet again on my last video I used a music source on, and it was through that little EL84 amplifier, that crappy little 1-valve amplifier. I got hit with copyright yet again. I mean, it is taking the mick now, I think. But we'll got something playing there on that. I'm gonna bring it up. It does actually sound fine. Stop that. But as we can hear, oh. There it goes. No, isn't that interesting? I should give it away. Put some source in and it clears. We'll just tap on there. I wonder if I've got a grounding issue or something. Anyway, let's get... That pop doesn't sound too good when you switch it off either. Let's get inside this thing and have a look what's going on, shall we? It certainly seems to have quite an interesting fault, this one. They've all had various faults. Some actually there was nothing wrong with at all. some, I think they're ones that literally just hadn't sold at previous auctions. They just banged them all together on the pile. Like I said, a lot of them seem to be from like cash generator type stores, and most of the faults were very, very simple faults. I've got one here at the moment. Actually, I am working on at the moment. I'll just quickly show you. Which I've got to show you this actually. There's something really cool about it. It's this here. And it's a Tracy Elliott Boxer 65 from mid-90s, and the output transistors are shot on it. I've just ordered a new set. It uses 2 pair of NPN and PNP output transistors, and 1 pair of them was shorted out. They turned into double diodes connected like that, and basically they were shot. They blew the fuses in it. But what I wanted to show you was this. I've never seen like a little Easter egg on an amplifier PCB or anything like this before. Let's see if I can zoom you in just to see this. Let's see if I can get you onto the. Oops. Alright. Can you make that out? And it says there, hopefully you can make that out, 'cause it says, "Don't be seduced by the dark side, Luke." So whoever was the technicians designing these Tracy Elliott amplifiers, and it is, these are British built, these Tracy Elliott amps. I don't know whether they still are. I don't know if Tracy Elliott is still in business actually. I used to repair a lot of instrument stuff, instrument amplifiers and PA systems, stuff like that. It was basically my job, but I haven't done a lot of that type of stuff for some time now. But so I'm not sure whether Tracy Elliott are even still in business, and if they are, whether they still make the stuff in the UK. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is a mid-90s one, and I thought that was really cool what they'd put on the bottom of the PCB there. Anyway, I'll get off that one, because like I said, that's just a project I'm working on, waiting for parts for. We'll get back onto this this GB-15, this fantastic made in China amplifier. And we'll see what we can find. That's happened with it, because that's a really strange. I think we have to go with a slightly bigger screwdriver. There we go. Let's try that. That's better. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yes, you can. Dear me, that one's tight. I think these might have a little bit of damage on them due to being stored in slightly damp storage conditions, but I don't think it's anything too serious. Oh, I think there might be a screw underneath. Is there? No. Oh, there was on the other one. There was a screw there as well. Not on this one. Let's hopefully see if we. There we go. We're in. Now different again. You see, it's got this has got a slightly bigger speaker than the last one that I worked on. Like I said, the chassis still looks to be absolutely identical. Certainly the controls on the front are absolutely identical. On the other one, we have nice spade connectors on here to disconnect the speaker. It looks like it's soldered on this one, which is it's not exactly a problem, is it? But the other one, obviously, with better serviceability. Let's get this desoldered. There we go. We don't need the cabinet anyway, we can put that out of the way and just use my test speaker here while we work on the amplifier. describe these things as cheaply but reasonably well made. Actually, they're not too bad. You find that with quite a lot of stuff made in China. I know people diss everything made in China, but it's made down to a price, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's all absolute crap, to be honest. Right, that's all the screws out. Let's get the amplifier out of the case. Now, which way do you want to come? Do you want to come forwards or backwards? You usually want to come backwards. There we go. Yes, it is. It's pretty much identical to the last one that I was inside. You can see that there. Let's get you down a bit. So, what can we spot? Not very much, to be honest. Wonder if it couldn't be as simple as the pots just needing a clean, could it? We'll try the simplest things first. That's always the best thing to do, to be honest. So let's get in there and give the pots a bit of a shot of switch cleaner. Give that a wangle. Now that could be, I don't like the length of the legs that them capacitors have been left on. They've almost off the board there, and that doesn't. I don't know if that capacitor is actually fixed down properly. It doesn't feel right on that side, as though it's moving about. I think I might have to take this board out and have a shufty underneath it, but we'll see whether that's made any difference. I've got my test speaker here, so we'll connect the wires up, pull them through here so we don't short anything out, and we'll connect up to my test speaker. Let's get some music on there. Right, let's plug that back in. I'll get the volume right down just to start with, and we'll just try it. We'll try it without an input in it. And that sounds quiet. Can't be that simple. That sounds very quiet. Let's try try playing some music through it. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Yeah, that's the input. Oh, if I remember correctly, this lead's a bit funny, and you can't push it all the way in when you're using these. Let's try that. No, that's not good. I've definitely got something wrong here. Something's definitely not happy. Oh, we've got a proper repair, oh good. Just make sure that, yeah, they're well connected. That's connected up to the... Yeah, I can't see that being a problem. They're connected well enough, and I know the speaker's probably not well matched. I think it's an 8 ohm. No, it is, because that's an 8 ohm speaker in there, I think. Even if it's 4 ohm, 8 ohm, a little discrepancy like that won't cause an issue. So why has it gone from working in the cabinet to not? Is it because I fiddled with that capacitor there? So we've gone from an issue of it having that horrible rustling noise to an issue of it being pretty much dead at the moment. Try again. No. You can just about hear the music coming through. And that's maxed out on the thing. We've got all that popping and crackling. And I hope the transistors are cold. I don't think any one of them shorted out is causing any problems. Let's get the board out and in fact I'll just pause you for a second, or else this video is going to get too long, and I'll come back when I've got the board out of the actual case. Okay, I'm back and I've got the board out, and oh dear me, it looks like someone's been at this before I got to it. There is some, I don't know what they've been trying to do. I'll zoom you in and show you. Well, can we see this? Let me see if we can get you in a bit closer than that. Now this is the input jack here, and we've got a solder pad missing there. We've got a wire link from there down onto this trace here. We've got a couple of points there bridged with solder. We've got this nest of solder around here. We've got another pad missing there. We've got a bridge over here. We've got this all seems to have been at least reflowed, and there's globs of solder everywhere. Slightly more worrying, down here, this is one of the op amps. I believe that's one of the op amps. Yes indeed, this is one of the op amps. We've got a bridge over here, we've got a bridge over here, we've got a bridge over here. The whole board looks like, I don't know whether that's capacitor leakage. I don't think it is. We can test that with the old sniff test. No, it doesn't smell capacitor related. But the whole board's got kind of like a water disc. I wonder if this has been wet at some point and someone's had a go at fixing it. And yeah. Also, I found there was a wire going from the chassis, basically soldered onto the bottom of the chassis, going to the positive on one of the smoothing capacitors. Let me zoom you back out so you can see what I'm pointing at. Basically, there's a wire going from ground there on the side of the transformer up to here, which is the positive side of one of the main smoothing caps. So that won't have been doing anything any good, because basically that would be pulling you had the DC plus going to ground through one of the smoothing capacitors there, which is, yeah, most odd. So I'm not sure what this thing's chances of living again are going to be honest. I wasn't expecting to find someone had been in here before me with probably a little bit more enthusiasm than knowledge. I suppose what I should do is I'll try sucking away some of the solder around these op amps here and see, suck some of this solder away, see what's going on, and we'll take it from there. But I don't think this is looking too hopeful. It was obviously working, but you heard that, the noises it were making. I don't believe they are meant to be joined. Could be. Some op amps, no, I don't think they are. Let's have a look what's under this abomination here. Again, I don't believe they were meant to be joined. Perhaps they were. Yeah, there's a trace between. I wonder if that's what someone was trying to cure that rustling just by blobbing solder around. I wonder if they thought it was a dry joint. Have we got any transistors on here? Yes, we do. And it's far more likely that that noise is coming from a noisy transistor, to be honest. Yeah, that's probably... Well, let's see what's happened to it first. Like I said, they could have actually... It could be dead. It could be beyond reasonable repair. We'll reflow them. Slightly dodgy solder joints. The op amps shouldn't be a problem. If the op amps are dead, I can probably find something to go in there. Should have some replacements, but let's see what's going on around here. This one's used little bits of wire. There seems to be a look here. Yeah, the traces are, the solder pads are completely missing around them components, and they just joined them up with bits of wire. They haven't done a particularly good job of it either. But what we will do instead is we'll bend, oops, we'll break the board. We'll bend over. Pen like that. Oops. So we can solder that. That's better. So we can do this one. That's better. Still not perfect, but it's better than that bit of wire that was in there before. And if we get this thing connected up, we'll have to be really careful how we connect this up, because the wires, in fact I'll have to just snip these, we'll snip these cable ties, because we can always replace them after. I'll give them a little bit more wiggle room. I don't really want to have to take it out of the case if I if I can help it, to be honest. I can swing that off to one side. That's better. We just need to plug this back into the switch, so we can actually switch it off and on. There we go. Got that connected up. At least we can have a probe round on here now. Let's get you that way a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We can at least have a probe round on the board and see whether we've got anything anywhere. Oh, that's not good either. Oh, I think this thing's shot. I just noticed that is, I might have one of them. That is the base control there, and it's completely shot. It's broken up. I wonder if that's the actual problem. And that one's broken as well. thought one of them knobs come off a little bit too easily. There, the other side snapped off in there. This is not looking good for this little amplifier, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get it at least. What I think I'll do is I'll take that bass control out. But it's like I said, it's not looking good for this thing, unfortunately. It's a shame really, because I was able to save most of them amplifiers from that lot. There was a couple that weren't worth saving. One was a rather cheap Chinese hybrid valve and solid state. It had valve preamp and solid state output. And that had a bad transformer in it, and it weren't worth spending money on. So that got, I think it donated its speaker. It donated parts to other ones in the lot, so it didn't go to waste. But yeah, it's completely shot. Look, you see, it's just falling apart. So I wonder if with that out, whether we're going to get, because it should still work, it's just no bass control. Let's hook this thing back up and see if we get any look out of it now. Let's try not to short them two wires together. Well, there's a hum from the speaker there when I turn the volume right up. So there's nothing. I've got something there. That sounds quite healthy. And what we haven't got is any of that nasty crackle, that rustling. But that is the that's the input. Sorry, yeah, that's the input there. So let's try it. Let's put. That's as loud as it's going. That's volume up full. But it does, like I said, that rustle is completely gone. So I wonder if that was that bad bass control there. I wonder if I've got anything we can replace that with. I'm sure I've got a scrap amp board kicking about somewhere. I could salvage a part off and we can try that. Like I said, there could still be other things wrong with this. Bear with me, I'll be back very shortly. I can see if I can find a replacement bass control for that. So back in a tick. Okay, I'm back, and I didn't have exactly the right part. I did have the right value. I pulled it off this old thing. It's part of an old mixing desk, and it did have a 100k pot on it. Unfortunately, it was a stereo. This is one of them. It was a stereo one. And it's a different fitting on the front. It's designed for a very small, oops, let's get you in focus there. It's designed for a tiny little knob like that. But anyway, I've stuck that on the bass side just to replace that one that's broken up, and it's not made any difference at all. I weren't 100% expecting it would do, but if I connect it all back up like this, switch back on, can hear is exactly the same, just very, very, very quiet. But I think actually I just thought transistors again, and I just had a quick probe round, and I no logic behind this at all. I just thought, right, I'll just start there's only like 4 transistors on there, I'll just start testing transistors. Now we test this transistor here, so just unplug that just for safety. We've got it switched off. We've got continuity. Try these 2 legs together. Sorry, that way around. What is it? We've got continuity there. Turn them around. Nothing, that's how it should be. On this one, nothing. Turn it round. Oh. That one. So we've got 2 bad transistors here. Again, nothing. That side I think's okay. This side, nothing, as it should be in one direction. Turn it in the other direction. We should get continuity. Nope. I think that's completely dead. So I think we may have 2 bad transistors there. I think one of them was working a minute ago as well. Let's see which orientation they're in. Right, they do comply with the silk screen, so we can just suck them out. Let's see what they are. That one is a C something, and that one is, I can't actually, I'll take them out one at a time so we know which one's which. This is the first one we'll take out first. See if that'll come out. There we go, I think that's free. Let's get hold of that with some pliers and pull it out the board. Come on, out you come. There we go, he's out. And he is a it says C3198. And it says on the board it's just marked as 1815 times 2. So obviously I think they might both be exactly the same component. Let's get the other one out and have a quick look. Then we'll test them. Always better to test them out of circuit. Testing them in circuit's never 100% accurate. It can give you an indication. Can also throw you off the lead sometimes. That's been a bit of a pain. There we go. Out you come. There we go. Out he comes. And that one is again, yeah, exactly the same part. So let's test them. Where's my transistor tester? Let's see what this makes of them. I really need to get some new crocodile clips on here because these are terrible now. Just bend that one. Oops, and I've dropped the transistor. Oh hell. Ah, there it is. That's on there. Put that one on that side. And this one in the middle. And then we can test that transistor. That's testing up as okay. It's an NPN. Let's give this one a test. There we go. That's not testing as a transistor. We'll give it another quick try. What sometimes I like to do is just swap the leads around on the tester. Now that's showing up as a transistor again. Let's try it the other way around again. It could be that it's just a bit marginal. Oh, it's coming up as a transistor now. Interesting. Let's try the other one again. Yep, that seems absolutely fine, so they are not the problem. I'm still convinced it's a transistor that's bad though. Could be one of them op amps. Could be one of these op amps here that's gone. We'll put them back in a minute because they're not too much of a problem to put back in. In fact, what are those op amps? MC4558, I think, and they're both exactly the same. MC4558. I wonder if we've got any of them. We've got here. Oh, those are 555, I think. No. Thought I might have some little op amps like that. I'm sure I have got somewhere. Put them let's see where it's really trying. I've only got another 3 transistors in there, so I might as well pull them out. I was expecting it to be the driver transistors there if it was a problem with them though. Let's try this one. Let's see what it says in circuit. Well, that sounds okay. Ah, now. Have we got a short on that transistor? Because it's connecting both, conducting both on that side. On the other side, it's behaving as transistor should behave. So let's pull that one. This is far more effort than this amp is actually worth. I'm just doing it because I'm interested to see what the actual fault is on it. Okay, get out. Again, it doesn't match what it says on the silk screen. And this one, oh right, it's exactly the same. It doesn't, on the actual board it's marked up as a different component, but this is exactly the same. C3198. So let's try this on the transistor tester. Obviously, whoever built this thing got them transistors cheap. They bought them in bulk. Get that connected up. There, got you. I need to make a little adapter for this for plugging transistors in. Oh no, and that's, again, it's showing up. It's absolutely fine. Do hope we don't have a shorted output transistor then, because that was going straight to the output transistor. We've got another of these solder blobs here as well. The phantom solder blobs. Is that what we're shorting it out? I think they're meant to be connected. We could have a bad output transistor here. No, those are meant to be connected. So it could be that we've got a bad output transistor. Let's have a look. That side's okay. Yeah, that's not looking good. We've taken the... Oh, hang on. No, it was just a capacitor charging. So that transistor's okay. Let's try the other side. We've got exactly the same on the other side, you see. Now I would have expected if that had been a capacitor charging for that to have we may have the culprit. Let's try the preceding transistor. Of course that's connected to it, so that's okay. That could be shorting through that other transistor though. So I think what we'll do is we'll don't have to worry too much about mixing them transistors up. They're all exactly the same transistor. What I think we will do is we'll pull this transistor from this side and we'll see what it is. It could be that rustling was the transistor in its death throes, and it's then just finally failed. take the washer off it. I'll bend it up. Let's get this thing off the board and then we can at least test it out of circuit. But it's not looking, like I said, it's not looking promising for this amp, to be fair. It's not worth spending money on. I mean, I don't mind spending £1 on a new control, but if it needs a considerable amount spending on for like new transistors, for the output transistors, I mean, you're talking £3 or £4 there, plus postage. Then for the new control as well, so you're probably looking at spending, if you're looking at spending £10 on this amp, it's not worth repairing, because I'll probably only get £20 for it. So I said, well, we'll take this transistor out. I mean, if I've got a transistor in stock that'll do the job, then fair enough, we'll probably have a go at it, but if not, then I'll say that the quality of the PCB is not very good. No wonder there's some got it. There's no wonder there's some lifted pads on it. What have we got? We've got a D2058. Oh right, I've got two DO2058. So I was expecting one to be NPN and one to be PNP. And it looks like they're both one or the other. That's really odd. Right, let's try it on the transistor tester. Nope, it's coming up. Let's just try it on a good old test. I was expecting that to be faulty. Yeah. I'm getting nothing on that. So why is that? Perhaps that test is not but if we let's get you down here. See what I'm doing. If we test across that way, we get nothing. If we test across that way, we get nothing. Test across that way, we get continuity. If we test across that way, we don't, which is what it should do. They should only conduct in one way. But this side, yeah, that's working. We've got nothing there. So I think we do have a faulty transistor there. Let's just see the same test on the other one. That's charging it through them caps, isn't it? Let's pull that out of circuit. Let's test it out of circuit. No, perhaps it's just a quirk of these transistors. That one's exactly the same. Oh, they're both equally faulty. Is it worth pursuing any further, really? I don't know whether it is or it isn't, to be honest. If it's one of these op amps that's gone, I'm not bothering changing op amps in it. I'm just wondering whether this is worth going on with, or whether I've got an idea. Do you know what I might do with this? Seeing it's, like I say, I'd only get 20 quid for it, if that. I've got bits from old record players and all little bits of valve junk lying around. I'm just wondering whether I turn this into a little valve amp. Might be a fun project to do. If we scrap the board that's in it, obviously it's not really worth pursuing. If one of these has gone, it's just not worth repairing. The mains transformer will come in handy for a project. We've got a nice metal chassis. We'll have to make a new front for it, I think. But we've got a nice metal chassis, and we've got a really nice professional case. I mean, we'll have to do something with it. I think we'll have to get rid of that fabric and make something a little bit more in keeping with what I plan to do. But yeah, I think that could be quite a cool project. So I'm not going to bother trying to repair this thing. Like I say, it really just isn't worth the effort. But what I think I'm going to do instead is I'm going to salvage there's some useful parts on here. I mean, these jacks, there's nothing wrong with these jacks. The two controls there which aren't broken, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, the caps, the Samwa, I'd be surprised if they're even, yeah, the Samwa, they'll probably go in my parts bin for if I'm really desperate. But yeah, I'm going to part this thing out. I'm going to retain the metal chassis there. And in a future video, I think I'm going to make little valve amp, little 3 or 5 watt valve practice amp out of this thing. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here for now anyway. Like I said, sorry it's not been a complete repair or anything. It's been a little bit of a fail in that regards, but like I say, it's really just isn't worth pursuing this thing that much longer. I'm sure I could trace out what the actual fault is. It's well, we know it's not the transistors I've pulled out so far. It's either going to be one of them two, or it's going to be the op amps there. That's all that really can be faulty. I can't see it being any of these resistors. Nothing looks burnt. I don't think it's going to be any of the caps. And with the fact that it's already been hacked about with, I wouldn't be completely happy selling this thing on anyway with all this bodge work on here. So no, it's going to die as a little cheap Chinese transistorized practice amp, but it is going to live again as a little 3 or 5 watt valve practice amp. Like I said, we'll use all salvaged and recycled parts, and I'll show you in a future upcoming video. It won't be anytime soon because I've got some videos lined up to do. Some more computer related stuff. I've got a nice little master system repair to do, if I can find the bloody thing, because I've put it down somewhere and I can't. I've put boxes on top of it and I can't find it. It's one of the nice old master system ones with a an interesting fault where it corrupts its graphics after a few seconds of play. So yeah, so I'll leave this one here for now, but do look out for another interesting little amplifier video. There might be a couple more amplifier repair videos coming up, because I think I've got perhaps 3 or 4 little amps left that I want to get up and running and get off to new owners, so I might do some of them. I've got a nice little Peavey from the 1980s, made in America. which I plugged in the other day, and it went with a bang. So that should be a fun one to have a look at. It's a bit beat up, that thing, but it should have should sound nice when I get it up and working. It's got a reverb tank and everything in it. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm sure I've said that about 4 or 5 times now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.